I won't tell her anything. She'll just work for me. I've made up my mind, and you don't have to worry about her fate. You'll feel better because your stupid fucker's gonna be alone soon. You'll go to it. You'll fuck together in a klopavnik, eating borscht, choking on stinky dumplings and drinking vodka. Get used to it. This is your future, baby.
The bell had been ringing for several minutes. Judith threw on her robe and, muttering something to herself, walked leisurely to the door. She did not even look through the peephole, for she was sure who she would see there. Monty was indeed standing on the threshold. She was only confused by the undisguised gloating that was evident in his grinning face.
Well, hello, baby. What took you so long to open up?
I was waiting for you to stop smiling. What, have you got something to please me?
You can't even imagine the surprise I have in store for you.
I know you're a master at making gifts.
Did I say I had a present? No, I have a surprise. I don't know about you, but I really liked it.
Monty pulled a flash drive out of his pocket and twirled it in front of Judith's face before plugging it into his laptop. Judith had been expecting him to do something nasty, but this flash drive, and the way Monty was acting, made her very wary. There was clearly something there that was going to sink her into the mud for good.
Well, shall we have a look?
We'll see if you insist.
What are you standing there for? Sit next to me. The movie's long.
Judith moved another chair closer and sat down on the edge. All sorts of theories popped into her head, from hidden cameras to Teresa's betrayal. Had she set this whole thing up on purpose? Did she work for Monty, and everything that had happened had been done with malicious intent or for a lot of money? If so, then Teresa is a great actress. This stream of questions was interrupted by the image of a naked couple having sex on the screen. Judith noticed that it was titillatingly beautiful.
What's that?
Well, you look closely. Don't you recognize anyone?
No, I don't know this girl. Where's she from? She's very good at everything.
And you don't look at the girl, you look at him.
Monty rewound the video a bit until the partner's face was clearly visible. Judith couldn't believe her eyes. It was Andre. Her lips quivered. She looked away and turned away. A strange feeling seized her. Could it be jealousy, she thought, and glanced once more at the screen. It was hard to believe that everything that was going on there was staged. It was very believable and sincere. The girl clearly loved him, and he didn't look like someone who was just doing a number. So that's what you are, jealousy.
I can make you a copy so you can look at your lover before you go to bed. I've had her for a while. She's a star in my favorite chat room. She was hiding her face though, silly girl. But you can't fool old Monty. It's the same interior. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to guess who the whore is. I had no idea your boyfriend could do that. Did you teach him that, or did she?
Fuck you. What do you know about it? All you can do is tell me how to suck, where to suck, when to come. Have you ever been in love? Do you even know what love is?
This coming from a whore who's fucked half the world? There's no place to brand you. She's talking about love. If it wasn't for me, you'd be in a cesspool with your ass ripped open.
Shut up, you ghoul. I hate you.
Judith slapped Monty with all her might. It was as if he didn't feel the blow. He grabbed Judith firmly by the shoulders, pulled her against him, and whispered right into her face.
Remember, bitch, from now on, you're a nobody. Live as you like, love whoever you like. You don't exist to me anymore.
Monty stared into her frightened eyes full of tears for a few more seconds, then pushed her away from him with force. Judith collapsed onto the sofa and tucked her legs into a corner, expecting the worst, but he didn't touch her.
Do you know who's going to work in your place now?
Well, who will?
You'll never guess. She's going to be my star now.
Monty turns the laptop toward Judith and jabs his finger at the screen.
You're out of your mind. How could you even think of such a thing? What are you going to tell her or suggest to her that she drop everything and come to you?
I won't tell her anything. She'll just work for me. I've made up my mind, and you don't have to worry about her fate. You'll feel better because your stupid fucker's gonna be alone soon. You'll go to him. You'll fuck together in a klopavnik, eating borscht, choking on stinky dumplings and drinking vodka. Get used to it. This is your future, baby.
With that, he pulled the flash drive from the computer, and without saying goodbye, he left the apartment. Judith ran out onto the landing and screamed.
Don't touch the girl.
Andre was sitting in his room and editing a movie. almost without distracting himself with all sorts of household trifles, which annoyed Lena a lot. She was constantly hanging around, now and then throwing sarcastic comments about her rival. But no matter how hard she tried to downplay Judith's virtues, she still realized deep down that she was beautiful, and her ability to indulge in love could not be compared to that set of hardened sexual stamps, which until recently used Lena. And only their little lewd movie, which had been made by Andre, calmed her down.
Andre, can you record our movie on my phone? I want you to be always near me.
And you're not ashamed. What if someone sees it?
Well, let them see. Let them be jealous. Why am I worse than others?
All the way to work, she fiddled with her cell phone in her pocket, trying to get it out every now and then. Like dozens of other passengers around her, Lena had headphones in her ears, but it wasn't music. The sounds of their recent sex caressed her ears and excited her so much that she wanted to do something obscene right there in front of the stunned audience. Surprisingly, it turned out there was nothing more arousing than seeing and hearing your own sex. The first thing she did when she ran into the office was to lock herself in the bathroom, remove her completely soaked panties, and toss them in the hamper. The rest of the day promised to be just as interesting, because Lena was to spend it surrounded by employees who do not even realize that she has already received her dose of pleasure, and it is quite possible that by the end of working hours we'll get more.
You're a bitch, Lenka. Can't you smell the stench of debauchery from a mile away? Sitting here like a needle, waiting for something. Tell the truth, have you got a lover? Or are you a prostitute?
Why do you draw such conclusions?
You don't even need to draw any conclusions, you're not wearing any underwear.
What do you care if I'm in my underwear or not? Why do you keep hitting on me? Haven't anyone fucked you for a long time? You better watch your underpants.
Maybe I've been fucked so much that you've never dreamed of it.
It's obvious. Better go squeeze a pimple on your forehead.
You bitch.
Lena's hands were shaking for a few minutes from anger and indignation, but gradually she calmed down and even pretended to work. But she didn't run around the office anymore, no matter what kind of a fool would think of looking under her dress. But the desire to do something weird didn't go away. Lena selected the desired file and clicked the Add Video button. What's the big deal? What will change in her life from the fact that someone will see how she fucks? And anyway, who gives a shit about her? And how likely is it that anyone she knows will see the video? But even if they do, are they gonna come and spit in her face? No, at best he'll drool and be jealous of her coolness and sexiness.
Hey, master of the slutty, I'm home. I have a surprise for you.
Hi, what's the surprise?
Here.
Andre looked back at his wife's playful exclamation, and at the same moment Lena twisted sharply on one leg, so that the edges of her dress flew up to her waist.
Well, you're crazy.
Can you imagine? I've been walking like this all day. Such a high.
Well, let's take a shower then.
I don't want to shower. I want it like this.
Lena quickly pushed aside the tape spread out on the table, rested her elbows on it, and turned her head slightly and glanced at her husband, who was dumbfounded. With every movement of their bodies, the silk fabric gently tickled her buttocks, and her excited nipples touched the cold surface of the table. And all the while, Judith's eyes, frozen in a freeze frame, stared at Lena from the computer screen. Andre must have watched the edited movie 100 times looking for little things that could be corrected. But finally, the moment came when he didn't want to correct anything anymore. But what pleased him most of all was that he stopped getting excited, looking at Judith's nakedness, stopped suffering from his sudden crush, and was able to concentrate on his work. And Lena helped him in this. Every day and every night, Andre was convinced that he had made a big mistake by cheating on her. He was grateful to Lena that she was able to forgive him and prove that she could be much sexier than those for whom sex had become a job. Andre decided to have the final viewing of the movie together with Lena in the evening. It was very important to him, her opinion, and not only her opinion.
Admit it honestly. Did you like it? Well, at least a little bit aroused?
Why a little? There is something that we haven't tried yet. And that's what excites me.
And who did you like the most?
Are you provoking me on purpose?
Well, we agreed.
Okay. We had a deal. I won't be sarcastic anymore. And I won't argue, and I won't be sly. She's really good. I've even been jealous in some places that I'm not as perfect as she is. You've guessed who I'm talking about, haven't you?
Andre nodded, and not to give any more reason to continue this conversation, put his arms around Lena and kissed her passionately on the lips.
I apologize to you for the 1000th time, and for the 1000th time I scream that I am a fool, a bastard, and a scoundrel who dared to betray our love.
Oh, how much pathos. But it still feels good. I think you deserve a little award. Let this be your first prize for your first movie.
Lena pushed Andrew lightly in the chest and he obediently fell on his back and her hands slid down. The phone call woke Dima up. Without opening his eyes, he fumbled with his palm on the bed for a long time, trying to find the screaming phone. Finally, he found it and, squinting his sleepy eyes, tried to see who was calling so early. The number was unidentifiable.
Hello, I'm listening.
Dima, is that you?
Hi, sweetheart. I'm so glad to hear from you.
Wait to rejoice. There's not much to rejoice about.
What's wrong? And why is your number not recognized?
Dima, listen to me carefully and don't interrupt me. Things are very bad and you must act quickly. Judith came to me in the night. She was furious. She said Monty threw her out, but that's not the main thing. He wants Andre's wife to work for him.
Wait, I don't understand what it means to work for him.
That's what it means. Monty wants to make Lena his favorite and force her to star in his movies.
It's crazy, I don't get it. How does he want to do that? It's just impossible.
You don't know him. That thing can do anything. He made me contact your chief.
With Ivan Ivanovich?
Yes, with him. I told you not to interrupt me anyway. I was translating their conversation. Monty has agreed with him that he will return him all the money spent on filming, give him all the rights to your movie, and give him all the profits from the sale, but only on one condition. This Ivan Ivanovich must find and deliver Lena to him.
How did he know about her? In fact, how did he come up with this nonsense?
The situation is idiotic. He has some video of Lena fucking. He's been running around with that video for a few days now, and he's been telling everyone that he's going to have a new star soon.
Where did you get such details? Did he tell you everything himself?
Was Attila. You remember, the bulky guy like that. The one who's been following Judith all the time. He's in love with her. So it was Attila who told Judith and she told me. Call Andre urgently before there's trouble.
I've got it. I'm calling. What about us?
Everything later. Make the call now.
Dima's fingers, trembling from excitement, with difficulty dialed Andre's number, but he did not pick up the phone. Only at the third attempt, he heard the sleepy voice of his friend.
What happened? Such a dream ruined.
Stop sleeping. Listen to me carefully. Where's Lena?
Are you out of your mind? What the fuck do you need Lena for? She's still asleep.
Wake her up quickly or there'll be trouble.
Andre finally woke up, threw aside the blanket. Lena was not in bed. He ran out into the hallway, looked into the bathtub, then into the kitchen.
She's not here. Probably gone to work by now.
Call her right away.
Why don't you explain what happened first?
As best he could, Dima quickly retold the story from Teresa.
I don't believe it. It can't be. This isn't a gangster movie.
Stop mumbling. Call me. I'll be right there.
Andre, dialing Lena's number, rushed through the rooms until he noticed a magnetized note on the refrigerator. Well, I wanted to wake you up. I went to my mom. I'll try to get out of work early. Thanks for the night. Kisses. He had already pressed the call button several times, but the receiver kept ringing, with a voice saying that the caller was unavailable. Andre could not find a place. Gathering his courage, he dialed his mother-in-law's number.
Good morning, Svetlana Vladimirovna. Has Lena not left yet?
Hello, Andre. What makes you think I have her?
It's just that she ran away earlier and left me a note saying she'd come to see you. Nothing serious. I just wanted to know where she put my new shirt. I'll call her myself. Goodbye.
Andre dialed Lena's number several more times, to no avail. He spent a long time digging through his notebook looking for the data of his boss, but as usual, it was impossible to make sense of the encrypted inscriptions. Some strange names and unknown numbers. Having found nothing, Andre ran out of the apartment and ran into Dima right on the threshold.
Well?
What are we going to do now? We can't go to the police, can we?
I think we should call Ivanich.
And he'll tell us to come and get your Lena. I've changed my mind.
Lena woke up in a great mood. Carefully, so as not to wake Andre, she slipped out from under the blanket and tiptoed to the bathroom. She had decided to visit her mother before work yesterday, so she quickly rinsed herself without any of the usual delays, put on makeup, drank coffee, and, having taped a note for Andre to the refrigerator, ran outside. The weather was marvelous. To have time for everything, Lena decided to stop the cab and, coming to the edge of the road, waved at the car leaving her yard. The heavy Jeep slowed down next to her and the driver's friendly face appeared in the window opening.
Get in, girl. I have plenty of time. The chief is sick. I'll take you wherever you say.
Oh, how good, thank you. And I want to visit my mom and not be late for work.
You won't be late.
The driver pressed a button on the dashboard, and the tinted window extinguished the sunlight that filled the cabin. The car moved smoothly. At the same time, the automatic door lock clanked.
Buckle up, please.
You're a daredevil.
It's my job.
At the same instant, someone gripped her tightly from behind and held an ether-soaked napkin to her face. Everything swam in front of her eyes. Lena instinctively tried to twitch, but her unruly body collapsed and her consciousness shattered into millions of tinkling shards. And then some voices began to come. They sounded as if through absorbent cotton. Her head was buzzing like after a terrible drunkenness. Lena tried to open her eyes, but her clammy eyelids were unbearably heavy. A phone call came from far away.
Hello? Dima who? Oh, I get it. What the hell are you talking about? I don't give a shit about you and your Andre. And for such insults you can get in the face. If you call me again with such accusations, you'll forget who you are and what your name is. Do you understand me? Is the movie finished? I want to have everything at 6 o'clock today. Do you understand?
A few hard blows on her cheeks finally chased away the remnants of sleep, and Lena opened her eyes. The heavy figure of a bald man loomed over her.
Where am I? Why?
Don't whine, baby. That's the way it is.
The surroundings went dark again. Lena tried to lift herself up but couldn't. Her body wouldn't listen, and it turned out that her hands were tied behind her back.
Get out of here and get the paperwork ready to send her away. An ambulance, certificates, documents, visas, tickets to make everything beautiful. Quickly.
It was quiet again. Lena heard the door lock click. Then someone's hands grabbed her around the waist and turned her face down. She tried to scream, but a huge palm clamped her mouth shut, so that the fabric of the bag pressed painfully into her parched lips.
If you squeak again, I'll have your Andre's balls cut off and a log shoved up your mom's ass. Is that what you want?
Lena shook her head frantically.
Good. Then I'll let you go and you won't flinch anymore. Have I made myself clear?
Lena nodded, and he slowly took his hand away from her mouth.
Well, now do a little work. I've seen you're good at work. You'll give any whore a head start. Except that I've already fucked all the whores and I've got your kind. I've never had anyone like you before.
He threw her skirt back and, instead of just pulling down her panties, gently pulled them down as if enjoying every second of the contemplation. His thick, rough fingers slid over her soft skin, and the almost inaudible sound was as irritating to Lena as someone scratching a fingernail on glass.
I beg you.
I warned you, didn't I?
He grabbed her hips and lifted her up, bringing her to her knees. Then he squeezed her neck tightly and pressed her head into the sofa cushion. Lena twitched and tensed all her muscles.
Well, you're wasting your time. It will only hurt more. Relax, you'll have to do this every day now.
Lena didn't understand anything, but these words made her very wary. What had happened? Why had she been kidnapped? If only to rape her, that's one thing, but if it was something else, what other thing? And how does he know Andre? The questions pounded senselessly in her head. The luscious smell of Vaseline spread lightning fast across the room, and at the same second, a strong palm, abundantly smeared with this nasty stuff, dug between her legs.
You see how kind I am, but I could have given you a dry spanking. I'm not a sadist. I understand everything.
Lena shrieked, but immediately received a blow on the head, was silent, and all the rest of the time, while her tormentor puffed, hovering over her, silently howled. For several hours, Andre and Dima had been pacing around the city, trying to find any information about Lena, to no avail. And the biggest problem was that they didn't know where to find Ivanich. They had nothing but his phone number. But the most terrible thing was waiting for Andre in his room. From the ruined computer, which was lying on the floor, was ripped out of the roots of the hard drive, and on the table there was not a single tape with the material filmed in Hungary. Andre entered the entrance on autopilot, went up to his floor, but even before he could put the key in the keyhole, the door opened by itself. He stood on the threshold in confusion, hesitating to go inside. Then he cautiously opened the door wider and peered into the hallway. Everything around him was turned upside down. Drawers of closets were opened and gutted. Clothes, books, and documents were scattered everywhere.
That's it. It's over.
What else happened?
The apartment was broken into. They stole the movie. They stole everything. Cassettes, discs. Lena's documents are missing.
Jesus, has that asshole lost his mind?
Wait, don't hang up. Someone's ringing the doorbell.
He walked silently down the corridor, looked through the peephole, and almost lost his senses at what he saw. Lena's mother stood on the other side of the door. Andre was not prepared for such a turn of events. He slid down the wall and, squatting down, put his arms around his head. To lie low and pretend that no one was home would be foolish, because the lights were on in the apartment, and 100% she heard his voice. How could she explain the mess? And how to explain her daughter's absence? The bell continued to rattle insistently. Not to open it would be absolute stupidity.
Good evening, Svetlana Vladimirovna.
Don't smile at me. I can feel something's wrong. Where's Lena?
I don't even know what to say.
Don't chew the fat. Tell it like it is. What is it? Why is everything scattered?
We've been robbed.
That's not where you start. Where's Lena?
I didn't find her. She wasn't at work. She didn't come home. I don't know where she is. The phone is not answering.
Where are the police? Call them quickly.
About 30 minutes later, the squad arrived. The investigators indifferently inspected the apartment and then began to interrogate Andre in the kitchen. After listening to a few questions, he suddenly realized that he himself was guilty of robbery, and that, quite possibly, that he himself organized it and now wants to dump this rotten case on the valiant law enforcement agencies, which have a lot to do and have no time to be distracted by all sorts of nonsense.
What nonsense? I've lost all the footage.
What kind of footage?
I was editing a movie at home. All the footage was stolen.
What movie?
Just a movie. A documentary. It was filmed in Hungary.
What else was stolen?
My wife's passport.
Why do they need your wife's passport?
I don't know. I told you at the very beginning that my wife is missing. She hasn't been in touch, hasn't been to work, hasn't come home.
I repeat, this is not our area of expertise. What do you mean she's missing? Maybe she's at a friend's house having tea, or at her lover's. Her cell phone's dead, and you've created a panic here.
I've been everywhere, called everyone. She's nowhere to be found, and she hasn't talked to anyone since this morning or shown up at anyone's house. So what do we do?
You have to wait at least 48 hours and then write a missing persons report. Come back tomorrow. We'll finish the questioning and decide what to do with your wife.
Andre felt caught between two fires. That's why he couldn't tell the whole truth, realizing what could happen to him and Lena after that. The truth automatically turned into a death sentence, but he saw no other way out. Already at the door, Andre grabbed one of the investigators by the sleeve and asked,
"What if I know who kidnapped Lena?"
Sitting back in his leather armchair, Ivan Ivanovich felt completely satisfied. He had no compassion, no pity, no remorse. He was sure that he had done everything right, both from the point of view of business and from the point of view of concepts. And the fact that he raped the girl, so it's normal, she has more to come, and who will know, because she will not yell, pity his sucker and his mother. And of course, she'll have a lot to remember. He had a lot of fun with that pussy. Something she was quiet there. Ivan Ivanovich was worried and threw a glance in the direction of the sofa, where Lena was lying curled up in a ball.
Are you alive there? Well, you don't want to answer, and don't. Say thank you for not giving you to my bull to be torn apart. They wouldn't have spared you. They'd have beaten you so bad, you'd have washed your blood. I know them. You're asking why, and I'll tell you business. And in this business, you turned out to be a thing that was sold dearly. It happens. But don't be sad. Everything's gonna be all right. You go to Uncle Monty, and he'll teach you things you don't know how to do. You see what that bitch does?
He got up from his chair, picked up his laptop from the table and set it on the couch next to Lena, walked in from behind her and lifted the bag hiding her face. Lena struggled to lift her eyelids, which were sticky from dried tears, and the bright light hurt her eyes. Gradually, blurred silhouettes began to appear, and on the screen of the laptop, she saw the frames from the movie, which in Hungary filmed Andre.
Where did you get this from?
It's my movie. Do you want to star in such a movie?
Lena closed her eyes and lowered her head, but the torturer standing behind her grabbed her hair and yelled,
No, look, get used to it. Soon you'll be in her place. Imagine how many men you'll have. It's always Andre and Andre. Did you like it with me? Tell me honestly, did you like it?
Ivanich let go of her hair and ran his fingers along her neck, trying to be as affectionate as possible. Lena turned sharply and sank her teeth into his hand with all her might.
You bitch! I treated you like a human being, and you like this.
He had already swung to hit her, but at that time there was a knock on the door.
You're lucky asshole. Who's there? Come in.
Ivan Ivanovich, everything's ready. We can load it.
Good, let's get started.
Her stiff arms were completely unresponsive and lay along her body like absorbent cotton. Even if Lena had wanted to resist, she couldn't. Two orderlies held her tightly, one by the shoulders, the other settled on her feet. The doctor fumbled for a vein and skillfully inserted the needle. The liquid in the syringe turned purple, mixed with the blood and began to slowly seep in. Lena felt how the sounds and colors began to dissolve. Finally, everything disappeared, and only the bright spot from the light bulb still shone before her eyes, but soon went out along with the remnants of consciousness.
And she won't wake up?
Guarantee at least 10 hours of sound sleep.
You must guarantee me that after this healthy sleep, nothing will happen to her, or you'll be flying after her.
Everything seemed to be going according to plan. It remained to settle things with Dima and Andre, but that was the least of Ivan Ivanovich's worries. Breaking these two suckers was no problem at all. There were over 100 of their unanswered calls on the phone. In about 2 hours, the guard reported from the airport that the cargo was on board and the plane had taken off safely. Now that the main issue was resolved, it was possible to talk to them as well.
Why do you keep calling me endlessly? I told you in Russian not to stick your fucking nose in my business.
Ivan Ivanovich, but it's mean of you.
Well, I want to warn you, one extra word from you and you're finished. I hope you realize that I'm not joking.
I understand, but I think it's already too late.
What do you mean it's too late?
Andre was with the investigator. He told me all about you.
Well, that's great. He has exactly 8 hours left to play dumb and take a statement from the police. If this does not happen within the allotted time, then after each hour of delay, he will receive one severed finger of his beloved wife. And with you, it'll be a short conversation. I hope I won't have to say it a second time.
I understand.
That's it. I'm waiting for the information. Remember, the clock is ticking.
Ivanovich poured himself a glass of whiskey and drank it in one gulp, walked around the room looking for cigarettes, adjusted the cushions on the sofa, and noticed a woman's handbag, picked it up, turned it in his hands and wanted to throw it away, but curiosity got the better of him. He emptied the contents onto the table. The usual female mess: lipstick, tissues, tampons, comb, purse. Ivanich swept everything off the table except the purse, opened it, rummaged through the compartments, and only then noticed the photograph, which was inserted under a transparent film. It showed a pretty woman with very familiar facial features. He took out the photograph and, putting on his glasses, brought it closer to his eyes to take a closer look at it. Suddenly, his hands shook. He turned pale, and, as if not believing what he saw, threw the photograph on the table, then grabbed it again. Adyan recognized this woman. It was his Sveta, the same Sveta whom he had once raped, and because of whom he had gone to prison. A wild cry of despair spread throughout the house.